My 5th grade graduation. I remember this day like it was yesterday. My pants and shirt were really big because I didn't have any more clothes that would fit me back then. My mom would do her best to alter my dad's old clothes so that they could fit me for this event. Little did I know that it was just the start of my many years of school. This was one of the first pictures I took when I first got my camera. I ended up taking a picture of these logs because it was the first thing I saw in my backyard. Graduating 8th grade felt like the time went by so fast. Middle school went by like a blur and I don't remember much from it. Before I knew it, I was already on the stage moving on to high school. Being in color guard was a life-changing experience for sure. Without it, I don't know where I'd be today. Freshman year was unforgettable and one of my favorite times in high school. Freshman and sophomore year felt incredibly long because of guard. I would be at practice constantly and I ended up hating it after enjoying it so much my first year. This picture cements my memories of guard all into one. New York. I've traveled quite a bit for my age and this was probably one of the first times where I enjoyed almost every minute being at a place. I was hired for these pictures and I didn't really think I was that good with the camera. But I was given a chance and I did my best to make the most of it. I felt like this was the moment where I realized I really enjoy using a camera. I started taking it everywhere with me and I would take pictures of anyone. This party was the start of me really coming out of my shell. To this point in my life, I stayed in a relatively tight circle. After meeting some really cool people, I was invited to this party where I only knew a handful of them. I did my best to talk to different people and I came to the conclusion that people are a lot nicer than you think. Seattle was my first trip out of California with my cousins. It was definitely one for the books because I was a lot older and also because I had more people with me. It was fun to actually be experiencing everything with the people I loved rather than telling them how it went. The start of my YouTube was a wild one. I worked really hard on a short film and it was well worth the effort. Every time I see this picture, I just think of what was happening before the pandemic. This picture was pure joy. How much fun I had with these two dudes was something I couldn't experience anywhere else. I traveled with the band and color guard during field shows and I felt like this suited me a lot better. I really did enjoy the experience of guard, but stepping back and seeing how exactly everything was put together was an eye-opening experience. This was one of my favorite photo shoots I had with my friends. We went to San Jose during Christmas and everything was just clicking. These became some of my favorite photos I've ever taken. E&P is my favorite class I ever took. It was everything I wanted to do compiled into one class. The people here were really fun to work with on a daily and I wish I could have done more with them in class. When the pandemic first hit and the school started to close, me and my best friend decided to shave our heads. What I didn't realize was how much of a change I was about to embark on, and it started with this haircut. My first time hanging out in the midst of the pandemic was a hike with my best friend. I didn't see anyone since school ended, and finally seeing someone after all that time was a well-needed breather. Taking these pics in SF was really satisfying. I finally felt confident in my own skin, and I thought, hey, maybe I do look alright some days. I finally overcame something that I always wanted to work on. Losing weight was always one of the hardest things for me to do. Finally accomplishing it felt so rewarding. Starting up this business was something I always wanted to do. Opening this up with my best friend was a moment I will never forget. I still got a long way to go with my cooking. Traveling during the pandemic was an interesting experience. We definitely couldn't do as much as planned, but it was still enjoyable either way. Going to San Diego, I really felt like I could see myself in SoCal. After the business and such, I started learning how to actually cook more. I was making up a lot of different recipes while at home, and this was really where I wanted to start learning more about food itself. Senior portraits really hit me. Taking these pictures and seeing myself in a gown felt like something that was still so far away. It doesn't feel like I'm a senior that's about to graduate. Cooking Thanksgiving for my family was so exhausting but well worth it. I was up early and worked hard for 2 hours and everyone enjoyed what I made. Making my first animation was a long process. Drawing each frame and making sure they all looked the same was a struggle. However, seeing something come to life after hours of work was pretty rewarding. And here I am now. These are the most recent pictures that I've taken. I took these on January 17th, 2021. My life up till now has been a rocky journey, filled with many ups and downs, but I don't regret anything that's happened. Everything has led me to where I am today. I'm proud of who I am.